everyone? All right, well, here we are Thursday morning, finishing the day up 18,700 bucks. It's a pretty good day, right? Well, it is, but the thing that's a little annoying is that it was up $22,000, and I kept saying how I don't like SBFM. I don't like SBFM. It's a choppy stock. I don't like it. But then I traded it anyways. Lost 1,000. First made 100 bucks, then lost 1,000, then was down 1,800, and then made back 600. Was down 1,200, and then jumped back in, and lost 4 grand. So now I'm sitting at 18,000 on the day, and I'm like, dude, why? Not the best example of discipline. You said you didn't like it, but you traded anyways. And then you lost on it. So yesterday, sort of similarly, I worked my way to up 14,000 and then gave back about 4 grand off the top, finished at 10. But on Tuesday, I worked my way up about 20. I dipped down to like 19 and then surged all the way up to 32. So, if you look at sort of these P&Ls on these different days, the last 2 days will get up and then it'll give back, up and then it'll give back. Whereas Tuesday was up, it'll give back, and then that was the stair step for the next leg up. And it's because on both of these days, or these last 3 days, I've had a cushion. So I've felt like, okay, I can afford to take a little bit of risk, and let's see if I can roll this, $15,000, $20,000 day into a $30,000, $40,000 day, right? I'm not going to take that risk if I'm only up 2,500 on the day, but if I'm up 10, 15, 20,000, clearly there's some momentum. This might be the day I can stretch it and get that move, in a P&L up to $50,000, $75,000, $100,000. You never know. So I'm stepping up to the plate, but only on one of these last 3 days did I really kind of get that next leg up. So, I'm kind of in the last 3 days of that approach. Made an extra 12,000 on Tuesday, but then lost 4,000 yesterday and lost about 4,000 today. So net still an extra like 4 grand on the week from kind of trying to trade a little longer into the day. That's good, but yeah, I don't know. It's a little bit disappointing when you don't see that continuation. And I think one of the problems today is that we had some action pre-market. We had some pre-market gappers. We had some pre-market breaking news, gave us some good action. And then coming into the open, they had sort of pulled back a little bit. So we didn't have a super obvious gap and go for the opening bell. There were like 4 stocks or 5 that were kind of interesting. And that's a problem because attention gets dispersed. You can only watch so many stocks at once when you have this much stuff going on. You start to just get frazzled. And you multiply that by the whole trading community out there. All traders are in the same boat. They're like, I don't know what to watch. Too much stuff is moving. This is popping up, it's dropping down. Now this is popping up, it's dropping down. I don't know, I can't focus. And you don't get as good of follow through or as good of resolution as when there's one really obvious stock. When there's one really obvious stock, that's when we do the best. And today we didn't have it. So, I guess that's just the way it goes. That's the way it is today. But finishing at 18,700, gave back a little profit off the top, and kind of just trying to position myself so I'm here and ready to go the next time we have a really hot stock that takes off. So that's where I'm at. I hope you guys enjoy the recap. As always, make sure you hit the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. This Monday, coming Monday at 1 p.m. Eastern, I'm gonna host a class right here on YouTube, the same as I did this last Monday. So the topic will be on scalp trading. So make sure you tune in Monday at 1 p.m. Mark your calendar. It's gonna be a fun class. All right, I hope you enjoy the recap, and I'll see you first thing tomorrow for the morning show. Hey, remember, as always, trading is risky. Most beginner traders lose money, and my results are not typical, so don't try to blindly follow me, or anyone else for that matter, and make sure you practice in a simulator before you put real money on the line. Take it slow. All right, enjoy the recap. All right, so finishing the morning at 18,700 bucks. Just took a loss, a good size loss on SBFM right here. Bought 12,000 shares for the breakthrough 840. And it's kind of funny because I kept saying I don't like the stock, and no, it's my biggest loser. I should have just stuck with my guts and not traded it. I had a cushion, so I just sort of was like, well, it's moving higher. And, it did. It certainly moved higher. but it wasn't really that clean. And so anyways, caught a good loss on that one, about $3,000. Was already down 1,000 on it, so gave back another 3 grand on that trade. But that's okay. My high today was about 22,000. I'm sitting at 18,700 right now. It's still a good day. I'd rather stop here and keep it green than have that go smaller and smaller and smaller. So that was my biggest loss on SBFM. But I traded it throughout the morning. I traded it pre-market. We had this squeeze here. I traded it as it came up here. I traded it again kind of in this candle right here. But I was never able to do well. And I think that trade that I just took was one of my biggest size trades of it on the day. And then sure enough, that's the one I lost on. So from the bottom up, the second biggest loser, MNTS. I tried to trade on this at the open around 411 or pre-market for the break of VWAP. It has curled up nicely, but I didn't get back in it. So just down 20 bucks on that. BRCC, took a trade on this for the break through this level here. You had a flat top at 28.50, squeezed up to 29. Didn't hold that level, only made 21 bucks, 22 bucks. Seed, traded this one pre-market. Was looking at taking some more trades in this area, but it just didn't quite feel right. It came into this double top. So my trades on it it was right in here that I took a trade on it. So nothing really big, but got a little profit on it. And then IMAC, pre-market, I'm sitting down and IMAC has this news headline that hits at 847. I bought at 848. As soon as I saw that news headline, I was in less than a minute later. I happened to be looking at the gap scanner and all of a sudden it said 45% gapper. MNTS was the leader and then it was IMAC. And I clicked to level 2. First I type in here IMAC. I pull up the chart and we had this green candle that was forming. I type in the level 2. I saw the news right here. Holding completes Walmart pilot. And I saw these bids at 135. And I saw it starting to get bought up and I started punching orders and all of a sudden we got this, like it was already moving up. It had already squeezed up from 117 to 130, 135. And I was getting filled at 140, 145, 148, and then 183, 195, 202. And all of a sudden, next thing I know, we're seeing $3 on the ask. I took some profit in the 80s and then I added back 291, 304, 310. I was like, this thing, let's see where it wants to go. It ended up hitting a high of 314 and then I stopped out at 295 and 261 as it came back down. I added back on a dip at $1.90 and I added again 73 and 63 and took profit as it came back up into the high 70s and 80s. But anyways, it was just a like algo spike, breaking news, jumped on it and right place at the right time and made $22,000 on it. So that was my biggest winner today. And I was hoping it would hold up and it ended up pulling back and I was in this area dip trading, but then high volume on the red candles, couldn't get back over VWAP and now it's kind of like settled back out. So I'm disappointed it didn't hold up better. Sometimes they do and sometimes they don't. You just never know. But in the moment, breaking news, jumped on and rode the momentum. So I think one of the problems that we had today, SBFM, you know, it wasn't super obvious. Seed, you know, you had news on it, but going into the open, it had pulled back. So we didn't have really obvious momentum. We had action pre-market and then going into the open, nothing was really obvious. So I wasn't able to extend pre-market profits into a really solid like $30,000, $40,000 green day like I did on, what was it, Monday? Or Tuesday. But that's okay. You know, today is kind of like yesterday. Made some money and then gave back a little off the top. Yesterday I was up about 14,000, finished at 10,000. Today I was up 22, finishing at 18. These are green days. These are good days. So 10,000 yesterday, 18 today, that's 28, plus 30 on Tuesday. So that's almost 60, plus 2,000 on 2,500 on Monday. So it's a $60,000 green week right now. And just like that, I'm already at 65%, no, 68% of how much I made in the entire month of March. So making some good progress here. You know, a couple more $15,000, $20,000, $30,000 green days, and I'm going to be over $100,000 for the month of April. So I want to try to keep the momentum going. We are seeing some opportunities. It's been a little sporadic. We've had some choppiness. SBFM was very choppy yesterday and again today. IMAC didn't hold up. BRCC ended up topping out. So did Seed. So I am kind of waiting for the next one that not only breaks out, but holds and continues. But in the meantime, I'm catching some base hits. I'm being a bit aggressive, and it seems to be paying off. But one of the things that's so important to remember with these types of stocks is keeping tight stops. You know, I lost 3,000 bucks like that on SBFM, and it was the right move to hit the bid and bail. If I had held the full 12,000 share position, let's see. So my exit on this was at 25. It went all the way down to a low of 770. You know, I could have lost on that trade I could have lost 9,000 bucks on it. So I minimized the loss to about only 30% of what it could have been if I kept holding. And that's I mean, good. I don't know that you can do a lot better than that. You will fumble sometimes. I do too. I had a couple trades on SBFM where I was green, and then I didn't take the profit. I mean, even right here, it went up to 55 and I didn't take anything off the table, and then it dropped. So some of these are going to be tough, but that's part of trading, and trading is hard, and it can be very difficult when the markets aren't super forgiving, and they're not always going to be super forgiving. Being a good trader means being able to get through the choppy markets. So when the markets are hot, you know, you can really thrive. But sometimes it's survive till you thrive. And in a choppy market, just keeping your head above water until the next stock provides a good opportunity is the best you can do. And so sometimes I'll have periods where I am just break even for, you know, a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks. I'm not making good money. I'm just kind of grinding break even, and I'm waiting for the next one to give us a big move. So we've had a couple big moves here, but we're not seeing things holding up super, super well. So that's the problem that I'm having at the moment, but I'm hopeful that we can get to the other side of it. And, you know, it only takes one to really give us that parabolic move. We had a couple great ones in March. We had LLL in one day from $2 to $7. We had NRSN in one day from $2 to $8. Or it wasn't NSRN, whatever it is. So I'm waiting for the next one, you know, that gives us that kind of move. I hope that we'll have it sooner rather than later. But we will have something that gives us, you know, one big green candle like that at some point during April. I'm almost positive, because we see it pretty much every month. So I just hope that I'm able to be here to capitalize on it when it happens. And so that'll be my goal. MNTS, you know, this one's grinding higher. It's definitely a grinder coming up to its resistance. These ones can be good, but I don't like grinders as much as the fast movers, so that's my preference, and because of that, I sometimes end up missing these opportunities, but that's okay. You know, I'll catch other ones, you know, down the road. So that's it for me today. Kind of a short recap. I'll be back at it first thing tomorrow morning show, starting around any time between 8:30 and 9, depending on what's going on, and hopefully we see some better opportunities. Why didn't I trade BBAI today? So I didn't trade BBAI because of that big red candle yesterday. I just was like, I don't know if I can trust it. You know, we had that nice candle, but then it reversed the nice squeeze, and it reversed the whole thing. And that's what I'm not liking, are those reversals. So it's the same reason I wasn't really feeling confident on SST. You know, SST, that red candle on Monday or Tuesday, whatever it was, I'm not liking those red candles, and they screw up the daily chart. So SBFM was sort of the same reason I was iffy on it. I was like, I don't know, that daily chart's kind of gross, but you know, it went higher, and I tried to trade it, but then I ended up pushing my luck on it. So whatever, it's fine. It's water under the bridge. But what I'm looking for is the front side of the next move. That's where I'm going to get aggressive. Front side of the next move. So we got some front side moves on Seed, IMAC, and a little on MNTS, but BFM, you know, if we ask relative volume on this was lower than yesterday. So this was a $44,000 loss that I really could have avoided. Now, today I had the cushion to take a little bit of risk, and I did. You know, yesterday I had the cushion to take a little bit of risk, and I did. And on both of these days, I ended up giving back a little bit of profit. So, you know, but one of these days, that cushion to take a little risk is going to help me turn a $20,000 day into a $30,000, $40,000 day. And that's exactly actually what happened on Tuesday when I was up 30 grand. All right, so that was one day where it worked, and the last 2 days it didn't work, but I still think it's the right decision to try to stretch a little bit, because when it works, it can work really well. And those can be some of the days that I end up sitting at $50,000, $75,000, $100,000. So when it works, it can work really well. When it doesn't, you know, I can give back some profit. I just have to be careful not to give back too much. So anyways, that's it. Yeah, I see, what is it? ICVX going up. It happens to be easy to borrow. The volume's kind of light, 39 million share float, but yeah, I don't know, we'll see. So anyways, that's it for me. Be back at it first thing tomorrow morning. All right, see you guys in the morning. Sure you hit the thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Our goal is to hit 1 million subscribers this year, but we won't get there without your help. So please, please, please hit that subscribe button.